So in this video is a couple of ace games in the Conqueror Mark 1, which is a Cold War Era 2 heavy tank which for the Western Alliance. I have had another video on this tank on this channel, but this one is with the increased or the upgraded engine and tracks. So this is sort of the mobile version of the Conqueror. I think as it is with this, in these couple of games I unlocked the turret, so the turret's not fully upgraded, the gun's not fully upgraded, everything else is, excluding the radio. I tend to ignore the radios in Cold War. But yeah, top engine, top tracks, and this is sort of turns into sort of an MBT at this stage. Turns into more of that sort of that play style where you can get around the map a bit easier, can use hills and ridges easier, and it's still got that great gun. I do like this gun. It's one of those tanks where when I saw the grind up for the Challenger 2, I saw the Conqueror and the Centurion 9 and I thought, oh no, it's not worth grinding this line. But after playing the Centurion 9, grinding through it, carried on going up, played the Conqueror. Not particularly impressed by it to start with, but as I said, as soon as you get the engine and the tracks, put the powertrain on it as well, yeah, it turns into a different tank. Great tank. It's stayed in the garage actually. It's going to stay in the garage. I do have the Premium Mark 2, which is sort of slower than this, a bit sluggish, but yeah, I think this is definitely a tank that I'm going to eventually come back to and play. I have one marked it. Probably will keep it as is, just one mark for the time being. But yeah, great tank. So just trying to use this ridge. Enemy have pushed really aggressively. Not too sure where these shots are going, those last two. But yeah, that was just badly aimed. I think I hit the ridge. Notice that they've kind of just slammed into my friendlies over here, so I do just want to reposition and just try and get side shots into them. Just trying to get as many shots as I can as possible. Someone's popped smoke, don't know if that was friendly or enemy. Doesn't matter, I'm still going to use it. Try and get up onto this little plateau over here. Just try and get side shots in down here. So at this point, they've kind of melted my friends. So I think that this is probably where the game ends. But managed to, I think I took them by a little bit by surprise, just by coming that way. But we've got this, this T62 coming over. Yeah, just a bit of a bad situation here at the moment. I've got ridges all around me, which is good. It's just it's Cold War, and I'm thinking that someone's going to YOLO at some point. And I'm surprised I haven't been YOLO'd. So staying in here. Got a light tank here firing ATGMs, which is helping, and it's, to be honest, it's just distracting the enemy. And these tanks down here, they seem to just have ignored me. They've tunnel visioned, the three of them. They've completely tunnel visioned down the A line. So I've decided now they're not looking. Put them all down to a one shot, so at least my friendlies can help out. This one underestimated my reload. Shut it down. This one has finally realised where the shots are coming in from. But yeah, too late for it, unfortunately. So after all that, we've won this flank, although I think we've kind of lost map control at this point, completely hemmed in. Just seeing what I can do. I feel like we've sort of won the top left of the map, so just relocating, just go hold down this way now on the ridge. I am expecting sort of a push over that ridge, and sure enough, there's a tank It's a Chieftain Mark 5. So Chieftain, I have unlocked it. To be honest, a little bit disappointed actually compared to a fully upgraded Conqueror. I think the fully upgraded Conqueror it feels better than the stock Chieftain, which just shows either how bad that Chieftain is or how good the Conqueror is. But yeah, I did like it. As I said, it stayed in the garage. I was fully intending that in Cold War I would just keep sort of the top era Tech 2 tanks, particularly this Conqueror. Since I've got a premium version of it, you could argue it's pretty much pointless to keep, but I think it is actually different enough from the premium, just because of the mobility. It's just so nice. I mean, look, that other Conqueror, that must be fairly stock, because we were really mowing along going to overtake it. So yeah, it is good. Pen's quite good as well, but we're only one tank up, 2 tanks up now, and it looks like we've got a heavy YOLOing in from behind. And yeah, it seems to be that Chieftain that's kind of just charged down the hill. Unfortunately, I think it must have just saw what it thought was an easy target, and that BMP1 must have been an ATGM to knock the Chieftain out. But I am pretty much a one-shot for that heavy tank. The light tank, can't remember what light tank it is, but yeah, just loading up the standard again. It's the cat, so yeah, pretty much a one-shot for that. And being spotted like that, I think the light tank's over there as well. Just not too sure that a cat would have been able to spot me. Yeah, sure enough, there's the light tank over there. Both are one shot, just like it's an RDF LT. And yeah, the cat's been taken down. So at this stage, a bit of a tricky situation really. It's 4v1. We should really win this quite easily, but it is an RDF LT and it has been buffed. With the alpha that tank's got now, I'm a 2-shot to it. If it's got any sort of camo, it would be able to take those shots at me relatively easily without being spotted. So just need to, I'm trying to head it off. I think it's trying to go down sort of the J or the K line. I'm just trying to head it off because I think it's going to try and hide somewhere. I'm not too confident that our light tank is actually going to be much help where it is. It's relying on us to do the spotting. It's so annoying when you see a light tank do that. But yeah, just seeing if I can use true vision. Don't really want to make this push without at least looking first. But at this point I was kind of hesitating because I just felt as though I was going to get spotted. So I think I am right that the RDF LT has gone down that way. And to be honest, there's no way I'm going to catch up with it. And if I leave my allies alone, I'm going to be isolated and it's going to just clip me out in 2 shots. So we decided, yep, I'm going to go to the cap. With 2 minutes on the clock, on a cap time, I think it's probably going to think that it can go round. So what I would probably do at this point, it is probably around sort of going up the hill at F9, F8, somewhere like that, going up that way. Probably thinking that it can get round to sort of E1, E2, get up that hill and sort of shoot down into the cap. So I am trying to position myself as north as I can so the ridge there can help me, and yeah, that's where I think it's going to try and go to. I have kept myself on the edge of the cap circle just in case it does get spotted. I can easily move out of the cap, but just moving back here, I feel like just a little bit too exposed here, just angling, so if it does get spotted I can just move forward into behind that ridge. So yeah, I think this is the first ever capping that I've put on the channel. It's unfortunate, but sometimes you need to do, play the game. And that RDFLT is running away. It's a one shot. It's not going to YOLO in. I think some people just want to survive the game, which is fair enough. And we cap. So yeah, a bit shameful, but I think that cap was warranted. It's not as though I didn't do anything. 8,000 damage, 3 kills, a bit of assistance, a little bit blocked, and yeah, really like the start of that game, using that little plateau and those little ridges, although the enemy team were completely oblivious to me. And yeah, ace tanker on that one. So yeah, that was the first game. I think it is this Conqueror, really good tank. I think it is worth getting. So on to the second game. We're on with Vineyards now. Another race game. As I said, with the mobility maxed out on this tank, suits my playstyle. Just hold down. I think it's got quite a nice reload, quite nice alpha. To be honest, I think people underestimate it. You are a very soft target to ATGMs, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. You've got a very squishy hull, but the turret's quite nice. Unfortunately, it being Cold War, sort of nice armour, you might be lucky to sort of bounce 1 or 2 shots in the game. But we're going up to sort of the hill, A5. Always a good position to go to on Vineyards. And yeah, bounce on that. Unfortunately, I have to admit, I was using my allies a bit of space armour there. A bit shameful, but there it is. Got this Leopard A1, 1A1. Really good tank, really good pen on that Leopard. It gets shut down. So yeah, just carry on pushing. Just want to get this hill as quickly as possible. I find that this hill isn't as strong as it is in World War II modes, just because the people from the south of the map can see you in Cold War. So just looking over there, just moving the turret slightly. If anyone does fire, and there we go. Just so the front of the turret is facing over there. On the flip side, they can see you, but you can see them. When I mean by that, I mean about the render range, as well as physically being able to see them. Although there's so much foliage on this map, it is difficult to actually physically see across the map. But that's what the spotting mechanics are so important still. Get a bounce there, which is nice. And yeah, I'm not too sure what this medium's doing. I'm trying to essentially tell them to fall back, and it's just YOLO'd. Yeah, not too sure what to do at this point now. I feel like if that medium tank goes down, which it has, these 2 tanks are just going to push up. So this one's a one shot, so made the right decision there to try and push up. I was just thinking, if that friendly medium gets taken down, and it did, they'll either be able to escape or push me very easily. But yeah, trying to destroy this building just to try and get a shot on this tank. Doesn't look like shots there anymore. But yeah, the main priority is this tank here. Comes out the Leopard, goes back. Yeah, it's just completely YOLO now. Get a nice lucky tracking shot there. Tiny little bit of tracking assist. But it's 9-9. I think it depends really how hard the enemy have pushed the south. It looks like we've got map control now, and it looks like a lot of their team have stayed in their camper hill or down in the valley. So pretty confident that we can actually push this way and get them in some sort of crossfire. trying to ping my ally to follow me, because I think we do need to go this way. But they're kind of hanging around. I do just want to go along the edge of the map. There is some rocks over here that you can use, and the ground does provide some sort of some hold down positions over here, just with the slope on the right hand side. I'm getting shot, or someone's aiming at me from over there. Obviously can't see them at the moment. Yeah, the enemy just, I'm not too sure if that's enemy or friendly smoke, to be honest. Doesn't really matter. Get a nice shot. Ally shuts it down, but it's been YOLO by this other T-72. Yeah, ATGM's going in everywhere, just trying to get the kill on that one, just so my ally stays alive for a little bit longer. Just aiming for the front track of that T-72, and yeah, get a nice shot. So we're down 2 tanks in the end game, which is not ideal, but we've kind of lost sort of the map control over on the west. It looks like it's just our push on this side that's kind of holding together. And yeah, some of these enemies are very healthy. But I'm spotted, but I'm not being targeted. So I'm thinking at this point, sort of, where are they? I suspect that they're maybe trying to push for our cap. So what I'm going to do, go on the cap, another cap, but this time I don't cap out. It's just a bit of a bait, really. If I can distract one of them to come over this way, at least that will hopefully stop all 3 of them jumping on the cap, or all 4 of them. But no one seems to be really taking the bait. Yeah. It's not moving, so see if it's still there. Yep, it's still there. Has it moved? No, it has now. So yeah, that's the advantage sometimes with True Vision. Obviously they can see you as well, but it's always worth trying to use it. Unfortunately, my capping hasn't really baited the enemy into making a mistake. We've got this one that seems to have been pushing up, but it seems to be pushing up on my allies rather than me. And yeah, got sort of 30 seconds to get out the cap. Just seeing if I can get that TD to YOLO across the field. And yeah, I think my ally was ping an attack, so yeah, I ping attack as well. Just concerned what that light tank was going to do. But yeah, on the attack now. Finished the game properly. The difference between this game and the previous game, it's a TD. Should be able to keep up with it. We've got a light tank on our side, so we should be able to spot it. Whereas the previous one, it was a light tank, a very stealthy light tank, and we were a load of one-shots. So yeah, a couple of interesting ways to use the caps in different methods, different ways, and I think they're probably textbook examples of what to do. Although that second sort of the baiting, it only really baited one over, which was probably enough in that situation, but yeah. So that's the Conqueror Mark 1, and as you can see, just unlocked the turret on that game. With the turret and the gun doesn't change the alpha, it just changes the accuracy slightly, a slight increase and a slight increase, or a better reload, I should say. So yeah, that's the Conqueror, that's the crew, and that's the equipment.